Welcome to Sportswire Spotlight. I'm Will Kaderli.
And I am Dylan Garner joining you here.
Yep, and we are here this week at Henrico High School. It is close to the very end of the basketball season, except for one team. That'd be the Varina Blue Devils, and we'll talk more about them way later. But for right now, we're at Henrico, not just for basketball, but other reasons. We have two amazing guests with us. Head coach Lawrence Bray of the girls varsity Warrior team, and senior scorer extraordinaire McKenzie Wiggins, which does a whole lot more than just score the basketball. Just because it's fresh off your mind, Coach, so let's get right to the season. You've had a minute or two to think about it.
Right.
19-6, couple of wins over Hanover. Pretty nice season. What would be your assessment of how the year went?
Yeah, you're right. I think we had a really great season. We fell a little short of our goals on the season to get to the finals. But I think throughout the whole season, the girls really worked hard, prepared in the off season, and I think we have a great group coming back in. We lost a great senior, McKenzie Wiggins, going out, but I think we had a really great season going in.
And McKenzie, I was going to ask you that. As a senior, this is your kind of last hurrah. You guys accomplished a lot here. The last couple of years especially. Can you kind of look back on your senior season, and think about the successes you've had and kind of shed some light on that?
Definitely. So at the start of the season, we really set high goals for ourselves. We had a goal to make it to the States. And even though we didn't, meet that goal, we still played. We still worked hard. We were still dedicated. We still gave it our all. And really that's what's important, was that we came together as a team and had a common goal and tried to meet it. I believe that next year, that goal will remain the same. And, next year they can still try to meet that goal. And I'll definitely still support them. And as a senior in my season, definitely we had our ups and downs, Definitely had my ups and downs, but, that comes with being an athlete. So,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I felt like you could see some of the ups and downs. You're playing a tremendous team in Monica and Coach.
Yes.
And tough team to prepare for, obviously. What you probably want a game plan, take something away from them, right? But I was really impressed just voicing over the highlights yesterday.
Okay.
And you're down double digits, and in the second half, you literally cut it, I think, to 7-6 points. And you could see in the background Monica's coach going, timeout. Tell me about the strength of this team, the kind of tenacity they had to fight back against a really great opponent. Obviously, that's deserving of being at state.
Yeah, Monica's a great program. They've been great over the years. And so at halftime, we kind of told the team that, look, third quarter is usually our quarter for the whole season. Sure. And we kind of wanted to go in, be aggressive. Our team is really aggressive when we play man-to-man, full court pressure, try to get offense off of defense. So that's kind of some of the stuff that we stretches at halftime to trying to get back into what we do really good. And we did cut it down to 7, but then Monica and great team made a nice run at the end.
Right. Tremendous year, regardless of 19 wins, 2 wins over Hanover, and that's not easy to do in a normal year. So congrats on a terrific season. McKenzie, and just one more point on basketball. What is it like being a senior? Because you've got stars on your team besides yourself, but being a senior, being that leader, and getting the other girls who are averaging more points, who are first team all region themselves, but getting that team as a cohesive unit.
Right. So it basically comes with being together, all being on the same page, lifting each other up. We will make mistakes. We will fall. But the important part is getting back up. And I really stress that to them, like, hey, you're maybe off on a 3, but keep shooting it. It's going to fall. Or go do this and I'll pass it to you. Or, hey, I'm open at the high. We just all have to come together and really work together cohesively to win the game, to get better. And I feel like, the goal is to win, definitely, but it's also to have fun, make memories, grow as a person, because, there's life outside of basketball, and we all just want to be able to gain something out of this and, get better, and hopefully they will be able to do better things, maybe play basketball collegiately. That's a goal for some. And I'm really just with them all the way on that.
And, we're sitting down with you, and we wanted to get you specifically because of some of those other things that you do along with basketball. And one of those core things is the leadership factor. And we'll get into more of why that is in a bit. But when you think about your leadership as a senior on this team, Did you learn that from someone that came before you on the basketball team? Do you learn that from coaches? Like, is there certain things that you learn from specific people that you kind of adopted as a leader, or where does that come from for you personally? Like your way of, like, the things you just said, where did those things come from?
Definitely as a person, that came from my mother, who is, you know, a strong-willed woman. She is very smart, very passionate, and I really appreciate her for everything that she does. And then also in the court, being a leader comes from I've been influenced by seeing top talent through AAU. I've known many top players who got coached by one who was a top player around this area. And, you know, they just instill and teach you those attributes, you know. And some say, you know, being a leader can't be taught. It could be with the right person. Yeah. And sometimes it's just something you just have in you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So you just scored huge points with your parents, by the way.
Yeah, I love my parents. I appreciate them for everything.
Check that box. Speaking of checking boxes, I like that you said beyond basketball. Because, Coach, I don't know if you realized this, at least going in. I'm sure you do now, but 3 girls who are part of student government.
Yes.
McKenzie with a 4.2 GPA.
IB,
IB program. You have very diverse players on your team.
Yes.
And McKenzie, this brings me to the latest big-time award you just won. Tell us a little bit about that, what it was, the process, application, all that.
Yeah, so I was, you know, nominated and recommended for this award, you know, and then, you know, I got with my counselor, who I really love and appreciate. Love all the counselors for all they do. And she was like, hey, McKenzie, do you want to do this award? This is a scholarship award. Let's apply, you know, and I'll get everything ready for you, straight for you, all the documents and everything. So I wrote a little essay, turned in recommendation letters and everything for that, and I got selected. And yeah.
And I heard it was a great essay.
Yeah, I was going to ask what's in it, but then just to let everybody know at home, the Organization of Chinese American CVA Leadership and Scholarship Award. It's a long name, but tell us more.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely honored to receive that award, and when I went to the event to collect the award, there were so many people because it was a Chinese New Year event. You know, I learned so many things about their culture, dances, songs. It was a great experience. And there were a few like delegates and everything in there as well.
Cool.
So to be able to be recognized, one of the 3 Henrico County students to be recognized, that was very big for me. Of course, parents right there, brother.
And you said essay, and Coach, you said it's a great essay.
Yeah.
So first I want to ask you, number one, what did you write? And Coach, I guess you kind of peer reviewed it, and why was it so great?
Yeah, so I wrote about being a part of my community and being a leader in my community. And I basically based that off of being in the drumline. We perform, the drumline performs for like community events, church events, you know, very often we're called to perform for these events. And being able to bring people joy through, you know, our music is, you know, very important to me. And then even after we perform those events, we're at the events, we're volunteering, we're helping things out, helping setting up, helping putting stuff away. So we do sometimes stay back for those events as well.
And what I find unique about the award that you were given, you know, it's from the Organization of Chinese Americans, and they honor a bunch of different people from different places and different, you know, backgrounds and stuff. But it sounds like that core kind of through line is people that make an impact in their community, wherever that is, right? And it seems like through, you know, your leadership and your connections to the drumline and all that stuff, which we definitely want to talk more about here in a second, but it seems like that was kind of the through line for all these people that got honored there, which is great. And Coach, if you wanted to expand about, you know, what you saw or what you read when you...
Yeah, so I didn't actually read the essay, but a lot of people told me about it.
Yeah.
And just knowing McKenzie over the last 4 years and the type of student she is, the type of person she has been over those last 4 years. I know it's very detailed. I know she did a really good job on it. And I know she put a lot of emphasis on trying to get, you know, just putting her word out there through that essay.
Yeah. What did you do first? Was it basketball or was it drums?
So actually, basketball was before drums. I've been playing basketball for a long time. I started there was a little league at my school when I went to private school a long time ago. And then, it was just for fun. But then my parents signed me up for rec league at Pine Camp over, by the way, across the street. And, that really was kind of that breakthrough to help me decide that basketball was something I actually wanted to pursue and get better at, because it was really fun. And I enjoyed playing with my team and the coaches and working out.
Yeah, if we had more room, I would have had you enter, and we would have started with you just on the snare. Right? That would have been kind of fun.
I don't know if we have the
way,
microphones for that.
No, probably not. It would be an audio
It would
nightmare.
probably be loud
Yeah,
enough.
it'd be a little loud. But if anyone at home has not seen Henrico's drumline, they are a treat. You can hear him in football. Basically, he kind of brings the ambiance out.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you better at, though? Drums or your jump shot?
Well,
Is this a
my
tough
jump
one?
shot, yeah, this is a tough one, man.
Pretty good.
I do have a pretty good mid-range.
Mid-range is great.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a lost
definitely
art.
could
Yes.
put a little work on the 3-pointer though, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get there.
Can't
we're
we
gonna
all?
get there.
Your team shot threes like they were going out of style.
Yeah,
though.
man.
You guys
You know,
could shoot.
We all can shoot.
So you're not sure. It's kind of 50-50?
Yeah.
You were a captain of the basketball team a year ago. You're the captain of the drumline, though.
Yeah.
And
Co-captain.
a co-captain. You're not the only family member in that drumline.
No, I am not.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so my little brother's also in the drum line. And we both played the snare together. So
That's
we're out
awesome.
there, dancing, doing a little dance and just working on it together. Like whenever someone gets stuck on a part or needs help, we can just help each other out. Like that's the that's a good thing for me and my brother. And the experience of being able to do that with my brother, it meant a lot to me. Especially because it's like my last year. He's a freshman. So now I'm like, you're going to miss me. He's like, yeah, I'm going to miss you.
What were the emotions like since you brought it up? You're out there and it's your last time on the field and it's the last time playing next. Now, obviously you can play with your brother, but last time performing with your brother in front of people. Did it kind of take you or what?
Yeah. Last time on the field really did. It really hit after the game, especially senior night. That was really a, big emotional thing for me because, I love the drumline. They're like my family. We even, do things outside of school, go to the library together, play the game together,
Yeah.
It's just, it's never a dull moment with
You're
them.
not playing the snare in the library, though. I don't.
No.
They have an
No.
explicit no snare
No,
policy.
yeah.
But
Henrico Library.
your house. So if I'm walking in the door, I mean, you have to have a musical family, and it's probably pretty loud. Tell me about that.
So definitely my father and mother were in the band in college and they talk about it all the time. And it's really like helped me and my brother become really inspired, especially my father was in the drum line. He played the snare. So he's showing us a few tricks, make a few cadences every now and then with him. So yeah, that's definitely, and the support, my parents support us a lot in the band. They're there at everything, anything. And it means a lot to me and my brother. Like, they're always front and center. Like I don't even have to look in the crowd. I already know they're in there somewhere.
They're
So
somewhere.
yeah, they're really big supporters for me and my brother. And I really appreciate that.
I wanted to ask
That's
you,
awesome.
like, a lot of people learn these types of things from their parents or a family member, right? Like, basketball is passed from one generation to another, music, whatever this is. But what really ignited your passion beyond, what was there a point in time where you're like, this is like, I don't know if you tried different things first, how that process went, but was there a moment that struck for you like, this is like a true passion of mine and I love this, so much? Like, was there a moment like that, or can you describe what it is about the snare or music in general that just like, ignites your passion so much?
Definitely. So when I first started playing the snare for marching band, because I played in middle school, but it was like concert band, I was so invested and exhilarated coming to practice, being able to learn new things, learn new rudiments, learn new cadences. And I feel like just that thought of getting better and being able to learn new things and dance and have fun with my friends and everything on the drumline, that's really what showed me, like, after that first year, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. I love this. This is fun. And, just, the memories, those days where you just go to practice, we're out there in the sun, burning hot with the drum on, drum heavy, back hurting.
Oh, man.
It's just those little things like that I know I'm gonna miss. And then right after, drinking water, eating pizza before the game,
Right.
It's just, it's all different components that come in for me, knowing that this is like something I love to do.
About the only thing I was good at playing instrument, I could do a mean piccolo block. And remember that fish thing, the guiro? Anyway, I think that was like an elementary school.
I was going to say, I remember from like
instrument.
Springfield Park's music room. That's about all I got there.
804 All-Star game. This is pretty cool. Coach, first of all, why is McKenzie worthy of being on the 804 All-Star?
Yeah, so I nominated her for the 804 All-Star game, and I think over the senior year for her, she's really done a great job for us, not just on the court, but also off the court. During practices, she's, still pumping the girls up. Sometimes the girls will come in kind of like 2 days ago. It's been a long season, and McKenzie was always there to try to get everybody going. So she's just been a really, really great leader for us throughout the whole 4 years. She's been a 4-year starter for us. And I remember meeting her the first time she was at Coach Harmon's basketball camp. And I met her during that camp, and she was playing against all the boys and everything. And I was like, oh, McKenzie, you have to come in here right now.
What does Coach Harmon know about basketball? Come on. It's funny seeing him at his role at Freeman as an AD. I'm like, dude, are you sure you don't miss coaching out there? I do got to say, though, one of the things that I find really fascinating when we do these podcasts is we meet tremendous student athletes. It's the time. Like, not a lot of people can have the time to play basketball, perfect it, play an instrument, perfect it, get nominated for awards, go after it, 804 All-Star game, and maintain a 4.2. So for everybody out there wondering, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Yeah, so my parents definitely helped a lot. Makes it easier. My brother helped a lot, especially with the band and the drum line, with my dad being there. It was easier for me, and I pick up on things quick. So I got that extra learning, that extra experience at home that I could, depend on and lean on. And then, basketball in school is definitely hard. There's times where we're getting back 10 o'clock after a game, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got an assignment due at 11:59.
Right.
And, it's just my teachers, the support from them, because they know that I'm involved in a lot. So I'll get extra help from them. Warrior time, I'm doing work. Anytime I can, I'll do work. Even
Except
wake
for
up.
today.
Where you're somehow.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just time management. I wake up in the morning sometimes to do work, finish assignments. It's just, the sacrifice I make to do the things I love, But it's definitely not it's no easy feat. So I know that it's, but it's worth it because I love it. And I'm not going to complain, because if I didn't have a bunch of things to do, I feel like I wouldn't have anything to do. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably just sleep all day.
Well, you're used to it now. You're
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
an absolutely full schedule. Is there anyone at the All-Star game who you're excited to play with, and somebody you kind of want to get back at? Like, come on, be honest with me.
Yeah. So definitely, I am excited to play with everybody.
Right.
I've played with most of the girls on my team, or I've known someone who's played with them.
Yeah.
We're all very, it's very connected. We
Yeah.
all know each other. So, and then I'm on the team with Bree. So, me and Bree close. I love Bree. So I know that we're definitely gonna
Bree at Hermitage, right?
yeah, we're
Brianna
definitely
Robinson.
gonna try to take it to him. And then on the other team, who's on the other team?
Lots of the Chesterfield.
Yeah, South side,
Chesterfield.
right?
So
It's like
I believe the twins are on the other team. I played with them for Cap
Okay.
City. I love the twins,
Yeah.
but I've definitely never played them before. So I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna take it to.
It'll be
Okay.
interesting.
So that'll
being
be
on the other
fun.
Side, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just last point on this, like, you got that. I don't know if you have any AAU action left, or anything like that. So this is kind of like a cap off of your high school basketball career. Where do you see that going? Do you have any plans to play in college? And then, as a part of that, like, where does the drum stuff go from here? Because, you know, you're kind of like, you know, I don't know if you're committing to one or the other, or if you have any projects that you're planning to, you know, continue that passion with.
Sure.
Can you kind of describe what the future holds for those passions of yours?
Yeah, definitely. So I do plan to play basketball on the next level. That is definitely something that I'm still pondering on where to go. But I love basketball, and, you know, I definitely don't want to stop here.
Yeah.
It is something I definitely want to continue doing. And with the drums, I don't think I'm really going to take that into college and play like marching band. But definitely if there's like a little music club, I may join that and may pique my interest, or definitely still going to, you know, play the drums with my brother, come support my brother, maybe come back and, you know, show him that I still got it.
Show him the
like, oh,
sticks,
hey, yo, I'm back. And, you know, start going crazy in the drums. So.
You're not that good.
Coach,
So,
part of your job, besides getting the kids ready, running practices, seeing who's going to fit the roster, you know, all that kind of stuff, X's and O's, is at the end of the day, you're also an evaluator. You get to evaluate before they come in, while they're playing, and then after. So you've seen McKenzie play. Where do you think she would fit? What future do you see for her? Not to be Nostradamus or anything, but not put you on the spot. Yeah, but if you want to be.
Yeah, I can definitely. We've talked about this before. I definitely see her playing at the next level. She has a really, really solid IQ for the basketball game. She's a really great slasher. Mid-range jump shot is there, and she's just tenacious on the defensive end. So I can definitely see her playing at the next level, of course.
Well, I want to wish, obviously, for Henrico basketball, there's a lot of talent returning.
Yes.
The future looks bright for that, so I wish Henrico basketball the best of luck in the future. Yeah. I don't think you need any luck for the future. But I wish you the best. I think you got it covered. Academically and athletically.
Yes.
Keep crushing it.
Absolutely keep crushing it. Guys, I appreciate you being a part of the Sportswire Spotlight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you for having us.
And not only is McKenzie a gifted basketball player, a heck of a drummer, a 4.2 GPA holder, and a recent big-time scholarship award winner, she's also about to run track. We forgot to mention that. As we get into spring sports, she will be on the track. Might even get some highlights of her as well. I know she runs at least the 400 and some other events. So
it's great when you can get through 20 minutes of someone's history and then still not mention the fact that they got more going on. So
that was the
shout out to
afterthought.
McKenzie.
And it's not like she's poor in track either. So it's like that could have been one of the leads as well. But well-rounded kid. That was a good basketball team this year. Henrico had a solid season, 19-6. And like they said, they fell just short. But if anyone's seen the team that knocked them out of the playoffs, Monacan, the team they just beat in states, they won by like 50, 60 points. It was absurd.
Yeah, I mean, Monacan is just one of those teams, right? Monacan is one of those teams, like we talk about Highland Springs in football and all these teams, Verina in basketball. Like, it's one of those teams that is kind of it's your goal for the season is not just to get to state. It's you got to beat Monacan. You know what I mean? It's really hard.
In Class 4, you do.
Yeah.
And then when you move to 6, you've got there were a lot of solid girls teams south of the river for basketball. Thomasdale and Manchester. Odds are there's a really good shot those two actually meet for the state championship, and they met in the regional championship.
Dale's like nationally ranked, I think.
Yeah, they're insane. And Manchester has a center down low that's committed to University of Georgia. So for our schools to compete and compete well against that talent really does say something. And Henrico, McKenzie's a senior, so she's moving on, but they have a number of juniors, sophomores really talented. So sky's the limit for Henrico next season. Speaking of basketball, it's over for everybody except for one team on Route 5.
Left.
As of today, as of this Thursday. Verina is seeking back-to-back state championships. And honestly, in spite of only having one loss this season, it's still a point system. Mm-hmm. I did not even know this going into the Verina game against Churchland. Highlights of that are on the latest Sportswire.
Truckers.
But the Truckers, which is one of the coolest nicknames, except for the team they're about to face, the Hampton Crabbers. I would take a trucker over a crabber, but if there were like hundreds of thousands of crabs, I would go with the crabber. Plus, he's got a really mean-looking mascot. The Churchland trucker logo, though, is like looks like a transformer. So that's cool.
Hampton Roads
Like
has a lot of
Optimus
cool ones.
Prime.
You got the Phoebus Phantoms too.
Yeah.
So
But in all seriousness, so Hampton only has 2 losses. Verina only has 1. Based on the points, that game is played at the beach, at the 757, which I found out for sure was a fact after Tuesday night. That that game is happening at the beach. So, and really, a lot of people are saying, and this is no offense to the other 2 that are still live in states, but a lot of people are saying this really is the de facto state championship between these 2. Whoever wins this, obviously anything can happen in a game, right? But whoever wins this game really has the upper hand, and both teams are going to be tested in ways that they rarely have this season.
Yeah, and sometimes it just shakes out that way, right? We've seen it so many times where we're like, how is this marquee matchup in the semis of region or the semis of state? And but I mean, it really does just create for a really spectacular event. Especially, I mean, love these like giant state championship games, but to also for Verina to have to go do that in someone else's gym is going to be huge. You know what I mean? And if they come out on top on that, you can almost put that another feather in your cap for that, because that is going to be as hard as it can possibly get, and to triumph over that and on your way to a potential 3rd straight title, that would be gigantic for them.
Yeah, Verina's been part of Class 4 for a while now. At one point there were 6 for like a senior season, but they've been Class 4 for a while. But these other sports, including spring coming up, but these winter sports that we just wrapped up, there have been some weird rivalries kind of starting to emerge because new classifications. But we did have some champions.
Yeah.
We did have some champions. Freeman swimming, boys swimming, congratulations. State championship for the team.
It's the first VHSL team champion of the year. Hopefully not the last, We'll see with Verina and whoever comes in the spring. But, I mean, I got to cover a lot of swimmers back at the Times Dispatch a little bit. I'm sure you've been to plenty of these. And that kind of pocket they have around where Nova, Virginia is, where Freeman, Godwin, those schools over there. Those West End schools just, they have so much talent, and as those programs have built, because it hasn't been around that long. It's like a real sport in that, public school kind of circle. And you could just, the talent was obvious. They knew they had the talent. It was just kind of a, getting everyone going in a few years of, I think, buy-in and investment. And, that's a 3rd championship for the Freeman boys. Now, the girls were like right there too. And I know this year, I talked to the coach briefly, they had divers on the boys team for the first time this year. Wow. And that was like that's a giant part of this whole thing, where a lot of schools, they give it a shot, with what they got. But like in track, pole vaulters, like if you have that extra scoring, that can really make a big difference. It did for Freeman, and it seems like they're going strong, for the foreseeable future.
And we were talking about McKenzie and her level of commitment to be a swimmer. Your commitment is, I'm up at 4 a.m. So like, congrats at what they have to do to be at the peak of their performances, and
to all the indiviral champions too. Yeah,
it's impressive.
So there's plenty.
We do a lot of individual champs. Also, wrestling didn't quite shake out in states, but we had a couple of regional championships, regional champions. There, I said that right. And then, and you had a couple of track athletes. Uriah Harris from Hermitage wins the pole vault at states. Princess Jackson.
I think he was shot put.
Shot put. Yeah. Not pole vault. Shot put. Yeah. Dude's a beast. And it's weird because I'll say this one thing before we close it up. So Nova, when you go to cover swimming, you got to get there early because the condensation on your camera lens is just.
I do not envy your situation there.
And I kind of feel bad for the guys who do a lot of the field stuff and track, because I'm there trying to get as many races as possible, and they go like that, and they're like really fast. But then, like, if you're covering discus or shot put, it's like way over there.
Yeah.
So like
over in the corner, but when you see someone hit a big throw at Boo Williams or something like that,
right?
That those people watching will get excited for it. So I still liked the, obviously I didn't have to record as much as you do. So,
right. Long-winded way of saying congratulations to all of our individual champions in winter sports.
Berkeley, I'm sure there's plenty more. Emily Romano. So Yeah, really successful into winter sports season for a lot of different people.
And coming up soon, we'll have spring sports. First day of actual games, March 11th, March 12th. They'll get the regular season rolling. Just a quick note on that. VHSL had a little bit of a write-up about Class 5 baseball is going to be insane. Freeman, Godwin are good enough to make state runs. And there, new teams in there that we're going to see become rivals. Teams like Louisa, teams like Matoaka.
Yeah.
James River has moved up to 5. It is in Class 5C. That is a loaded. I mean, and I'm just talking about baseball.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the rest of the sports.
You got lacrosse.
Right.
You got soccer.
Right.
Oh my, these are sports where, especially a handful of those schools, that have been in kind of that 5C, whatever you want to describe that as.
Sure.
Old colonial district schools have just been, basically just
Moving around.
cannibalizing each other. And now, I think this, again, we saw in fall, we saw in winter now, the teams moving up, teams moving down, teams stay here. And then the teams that have joined them, it's created a very interesting dynamic, in certain sports that hasn't existed before. So I think
I've
that
never
learning
covered
curve will be really
William
interesting.
Fleming until this year.
Yeah, so I think there'll be a
That's
lot
a
of
new
new kind of faces and jerseys to see. But I mean, it's exciting. It's really cool. And personally, I really want to go see Freeman baseball as soon as possible. And obviously, you will be out as many of these as possible here very shortly.
We're gonna get it rolling. And with that being said, next time you see us, we probably will be talking about spring sports. But until then, thanks for being a part and taking part in the Sportswire Spotlight.